Good morning, everybody. This is Emily from AndersMillknits coming to you from not an undisclosed location. I'm coming to you from Bend, Oregon, and this is my last morning here in Bend, and I wanted to record an episode because a lot of things have been going on. So where you can find me, I am AndersMillknits on the interwebs. Well, on my blog, you can find me there and on YouTube. But on Ravelry, I am AKA Millie, that's M-I-L-L-I-E, and on Instagram, I am AK Millie907. Watson, and my dog finds a lot of things to bark at. So I am out in the wild in Bend, Oregon, and so why don't we just jump into things, shall we? Let's see here. Oh my goodness, so many notifications because I haven't had my phone on in days. So a little bit of administrative things. So we have the 24 Days of Cheer swap that you guys can all sign up for. There's 1 week left. I'm going to be closing that on the 15th of September and providing out the swap partners soon after that, as soon as I can. And then that's the only thing as far as administrative things going on. Then let's see, let's do some I've forgotten all the names of my segments. This is terrible. I don't know, maybe the wild does that to me. So why don't I just go with the flow. So I'm going to review a little bit about my life. So I am on a sort of sabbatical right now from work. I've had a few, you guys are aware, sorry, there's this weird shadow on my face. So you're aware that I'm going through a divorce and that my marriage was abusive, unfortunately. And then I had some other traumatic things happen, both physically and emotionally. Traumatic things happen in the last month that precipitated me seeking the Family Leave Act for a little while so that I could go into some intensive therapy and heal. And also I'm hoping to go home and visit my family for just maybe a few days, a week or something. And so that started really quickly. The ball started rolling really quickly once I made that decision and contacted my boss. She's very supportive and very wonderful. Because one of the things is that if, you know, as a behavioralist or a counselor, whatever you want to call me, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And I hope that wind isn't coming through. Sorry. So as of last Thursday, I think it was, I was on sabbatical, and on Friday I came up here to Bend because I'd never been here, and I just pretty much have been sleeping in my car and exploring the places. Yesterday I went on an 8-mile hike around, I can't remember, Paulina Lake? I keep wanting to call it Paulina, but I think it's Paulina Lake. It was so beautiful. I'm going to be posting on my Instagram feed, and just after I'm done recording here, those pictures and that experience. And I met a person here while I've been going around exploring. His name is Adrian, and he showed me a bit around Bend last night. He took me up to Pilot Butte and yesterday and showed me the view of Bend, and then we walked around the river, the Deschutes River. See, I can't think of things. And then we went to dinner at McMiniman's here with my little dog who keeps barking. Watson, why don't you come up here and say hi to everybody? Huh? He's a heavy guy. Yeah, there we go. There, see? Yeah? Now you're gonna turn away from the camera? That's okay. Yeah, you're camera shy. Anyway, so Watson and I have been really enjoying things. We've been doing a lot of introspective things. Some knitting has happened. Strangely enough, some crochet has happened. A lot of walking, a lot of journaling, a lot of reading. In fact, my camera at this moment is stacked up on 6 books. Well, one is a journal that I brought with me that I've been perusing through. One is called Resilient. One is called The Finnish Way. Another is called The Self-Love Experiment. And another one is called Writing Ourselves Whole. And the last one is just, I never actually opened it. It's called The Invisible Library. And that's a fictional book instead of a self-help book. So I've been really enjoying reading, sitting out in nature and just listening. Like right now I can hear the birds. They have the most beautiful ground squirrels and little tiny chipmunks. Oh my gosh, they're so adorable. They've just fascinated me the whole time I've been here. Every time I see them, I pause and I stare because they're such characters. And then they have the gray squirrel that I just love squirrels. There's something about squirrels that I just love. I love watching them climb trees. Especially when they have something in their mouths. Oh my gosh. And then yesterday on my hike, I saw a lot of golden hawks, and I think that's what they're called. I'm not really good with birds of prey. Actually, I'm not really good with birds, period, but I do love birds, and I want to learn more about them. That's been a goal of mine for a couple years now, and I've never followed through. I saw a marmot. I saw some little teeny tiny little lizards or geckos. I don't know what they are. Saw a ground snake. Lots of fish. Mallards. That's not a fish, that's a bird. Let's see, what else did I see? Oh, there's these beautiful, out there at the lake, there was these beautiful, and I could never get a picture of them, like golden orange butterflies, and they were everywhere. A couple of them landed on me, and of course I couldn't get a picture because they would fly away beforehand. There was these crickets that made the most interesting sounds. I'm not really familiar with crickets. In fact, they kind of gross me out a bit. My brother Eli likes to drink ground up crickets in this one fruit drink that he likes. Whatever. He says it's great for protein. So lots of weird shadows going on, huh? And I've just been really enjoying that. Yesterday on my hike, we stopped, Watson and I stopped about 2 miles into the hike at the hot springs there, and I soaked in the hot springs for about an hour, and then I went swimming in the lake to cool down, and then I sat on the beach on my towel and wrote in my journal for about an hour. And then we went on our way again, and I just never got tired. Never got tired. It was wonderful. I was telling my best friend Wolf this last night on the phone. One of the things that I've really been struggling with lately is self-affirmations, or positive affirmations, if you will. So if I say something like, I'm good, I'm worthy, I am loved, then I find that I panic. My breath starts coming in short spurts. I have trouble breathing. Well, I just said that. Breath starts coming. My heart starts pounding really, really fast. And like my muscles kind of tense up, and especially in my arms for some reason. So yesterday on the hike, I was determined to find something that wouldn't invoke that panicky feeling, but was still affirming and positive. So I played around with it for quite a long time on the hike, and I finally hit on some phrases and the way of saying things that is very helpful to me. So what I reframed it as is that I am happy today. I am loved today. I love my life today. Or I think that was the one that even the word today was a little much, so I changed it to I love my life right now. So in this moment, actually I think is what I said. I love my life in this moment. And it just felt so good. It felt so good to say that and to feel that. So that may be helpful to you guys. I don't know if it's helpful. And I'm really, really tired of being in the shade here. Sorry. So we're going to be a little awkward, especially since Watson's in my lap. I'm going to move my chair. Let's see if that helps any. Whoa! It's not helping at all, is it? Oh well, I tried, huh? So why don't we just get into knitting, shall we? So I've done a lot of knitting, and let's see here. Watson's in my lap still, so it's hard for me to get at things. So I'm gonna try my hardest. The one finished object I have is at the bottom of my basket here, because I've been working on so many things. So, yeah, this is annoying to me too, don't worry. There it is, found it. Okay, so I finally finished my socks, and I put them up on Instagram yesterday. So these are the mustache yarns in the Polka Dot Afro Circus number 4 colorway. And I did contrasting heels and toes in, well, the golden was a trade, and then the pinky purple was some of my hand dyes. And I was afraid I wouldn't have enough of the golden to go on both toes. So this was the first sock, and so I did the purple on the heel, and then I did the golden on the toe, and I was afraid I wouldn't have enough to do a second toe, so I switched it around, and I did a golden heel and a purple toe, and I love the contrast. It's making me so happy, and this is just so beautiful. I love all the speckles that she did. It just, and that stripe of white and black. I just love it. So these are mine. I'm not giving them away. They're mine, and they're all done. I'm so proud of myself. It only took me, I don't even know how many months, but it took me a lot of months. Maybe if I scooch closer, it'll be better. Let me see. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, so then I cast on a secret project for a friend of mine, and I did the majority of it this weekend, and it's gonna be really funky, okay? You guys are gonna be like, what the heck? But it kind of makes me giggle. So, you're never gonna guess what this is. It's crochet, first off. So this is a bong, B-O-N-G. Yes, a bong with eyes, and it's gonna have more of a face too, but I've just mainly finished the body, if you will, and I still have the spout to do, which I'm gonna be doing either in gray or in white. I haven't figured out which one yet. And so the pattern is free on Ravelry, and it's called the amigurumi pattern. Oh wait, it's called Bong. Amigurumi pattern by Crafty Tibbles. And so see, I have to do the spout, and I couldn't find safety eyes anywhere in my town, and I couldn't even find them here in Bend, so I just did buttons for eyes, which is not as cool, but oh well. And this is some of my original, like, early days of hand dyed, and I hated it. And it's in bulky, and it's just 100% merino, American wool, not merino. And it was so much fun to knit up though, because knitting it up, I actually really loved the purple and the blue and the teal together. But in the skein, I absolutely hate it. So here it is in the skein. I don't know if you can see it very well. Here it is in the skein, and here it is knit up. I love it crocheted up. I don't know if I'd love it knit up, but see, because it's crocheted, it's got these cool, the texture adds something I think that was missing in the colorway. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, so it's for a friend of mine who's male and who grows some marijuana plants. I'm not 420. If you guys know what that means I don't smoke marijuana. I don't judge people who do. It's just not my thing. I think I might even be allergic to it. So, I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, I've got my own substance that I am addicted to, so I don't need another one. Ooh, that tastes good. So, I think I'm going to call him Bob the Bong. I don't know, maybe I should let my friend name him. Or her, whatever he wants to call him. Anyway, so I'm really happy about that. So I used an F hook with bulky, which gave me a good tight texture, except for where I was doing the decreases. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so here's the thing. I have never crocheted in the round. I've never done increases in crochets or decreases. This was all new to me. And holy crap. I've never crocheted through the back loop. None of it. But it was so much fun. I could not put this down. I think I knit on it for like 4 hours straight. And I got this all done in that time. And so, yeah. Oh, so the colors that I might do for this is another one of my hand dyeds. I was thinking about doing the spout in this gray. I think that kind of looks good. And this is a fingering weight, so I was thinking of holding it triple. I mean, it's a light fingering too. So I was thinking of holding it triple to make the spout. Another option is I've got some white that I'm using on a different project. That's also some of mine that I could also use. As in, it's mine, I just didn't dye it. I just left it natural. I think they bleached it, but it's not really natural. So anyway, there's Mr. Bong, Mr. Bob the Bong, and that's my crochet project. That's about 90% complete. I think I'm going to do some, oh, that would be cool. What if I did gray eyebrows and either a gray or a white spout? Ooh, he can be an old Mr. Bong. I like that. Okay, so there's that. Then I've had this idea flitting around in my head for weeks about some socks that I wanted to try knitting. And you know what? For some reason, I just refused to see if there was... I dropped some yarn. Sorry guys, hold on. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Especially with Watson in my lap. Watson, I don't suppose you can get down for a second. Oh man, he's acting like I'm killing him. You're killing me, Smalls. Okay. Got it. That rolled far. Okay, so I've had this idea in my head for a few weeks now about a pair of socks, and I'm sure somebody has designed it. They have to have had, because first off, I'm not original. Second off, hardly anybody is original these days. And third off, I'm not a designer. And yet, for some reason, I just had it in my head that I need to do this on my own. So, this was supposed to be a... what do they call it? A swatch? A swatch. But I'm liking it so much, it might not be a swatch, it might be the sock. I don't know, but this is from my best friend Wolf. One of my best friends, just so everybody's aware, I've got multiple best friends. He's my only male best friend. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen Derek and I've posted a few pictures of us in the last little while, because I felt more comfortable doing that. And he's pretty darn amazing. He tests my boundaries, but he also respects my boundaries, and I haven't had that in a long time, so I'm not gonna ruin this friendship, I swear. So anyway, so I want to knit him some socks. And I asked him, and he said, well, you know, I really am kind of hard on socks, especially on the ball of my foot and the heel of my foot. And so I thought to myself, okay, I want to do double thickness in ribbing for Watson's paw is down my shirt. I can't believe it. Especially for things like the ribbing on the top to give it a little bit more stability. And then also I wanted to do double ribbing, so it would be, I guess it's called double ribbing? Ferrule ribbing? I don't know what you would call it. On the heel, especially the heel flap. I'm going to do a heel flap for him because he's got a pretty deep heel. And then on the ball of the foot. So I had some Lorna's, no wait, no, is it Lorna's Laces? No, this is Cascade Heritage. You guys are going to see the price. Cascade Heritage hand-painted sock yarn. I've had this for quite a few years. It's in the colorway 9828, lot number 1443. And it is this color. Ooh, it's all messy now because I've been carrying it around a lot. So there's some browns, some purples, some electric blue, some teal. And I guess the brown is more maroon, really. Yeah. And then that white that I mentioned a moment ago, I just had some white that I was using for a different project that I happen to have along with me here. And I originally thought that I would be using this gray to match up with this as well. I thought that would be really pretty, and it still does look really pretty. But I don't have my skein winder with me, so I couldn't skein it up. So I had to use what I had skeined up. And so I just went ahead and I cast on, and I've knit about 4 rows of 2x2 rib, alternating colors. Do you see that? And I love it. I mean, I don't know, is this a little bright for a guy? I don't know, I really am enjoying it. It's so pretty. Oh God. And I cast on 72 stitches, and it's got a good stretch while at the same time being really sturdy, and I'm really happy with that. So literally all I'm doing is the variegated color is the knit stitches and the white is the purl stitches, and that's all I'm doing. So I'm alternating skeins for those two things. And the first 2 rows were incredibly fiddly. Like, I almost gave up. I was like, this is horrible, this is going badly. And then I just told myself, okay, just knit a couple more rows and just see what happens, okay? Just don't give up yet. And by the 4th row, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so addicting. My only problem is that I don't know how to hold the 2 strands. Another dog is outside. Oh. Shh. You're gonna go in the car. There's not. Okay, here. Face away. No, face. Sometimes. Watson, come here. Come here. Come here. He knocked over all my knitting projects. Everything. There. I have him facing away. You're gonna sit down. Head is under my armpit. We're good. Stop. Calm. Calm. Now you guys see what I deal with. Sorry about the interruptions. There's a lot of them. This is a really, like, discombobulated. That's probably what the camping and discombobulation. How about that? Or discombobulated and bend. That might be our name today. But, so I did that. And I'm really happy with it. So like I was saying, the only concern that I have so far is my tension. Because I've never been a ferrule knitter, although I want to desperately. So it's hard for me to figure out how to hold the 2 strands that I'm using constantly. especially because I'm noticing that the white is more dominant, and I'd like the variegated to be more dominant, and I know that there's a specific way that you're supposed to hold your strands in order to make that happen. So I do have Craftsy Unlimited, or as they're now calling themselves, Blueprint. So I think in the next week or so I'm going to be seeing if there's a Craftsy class on stranded knitting and playing with dominant color and stuff. So that'll be fun. So that's just there. Like I said, there's no pattern. I'm knitting it on US size zeros. I cast on 72 stitches, and that's it really. So there's that. Another thing I brought with me and I'm knitting on, I've got I guess it's a hoe. I mean, it is a half. No, it's not actually even a hoe. I didn't show this to you on my last episode because the project was in the car, but I am knitting up some fingerless mittens for me. Just again, no pattern, just cast it on. Whoops. And I did a rolled brim right there. And the colorway is from Knitted Wit, and this is called the Denali colorway. She did a line of national parks colors, and I of course had to grab up the Denali one a few months back, and so I did that, and I've been knitting. So the colors are dark blue, like a navy blue, a rich grassy green that kind of turns into an olivey at some points, and a white. I love it. So I have that done. I haven't done the thumb, but I did go ahead and I cast on the second one, and I've literally only knit on this like this far. I don't even know if that's 6 rows of 1x1 twisted rib. So one thing I noticed, actually, I'll put this back on, is that I do have thin wrists, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of ease right here that I actually would prefer not to. And so because I didn't know what I was going to do, I had originally just cast on as if I was going to make socks, so I just cast on 60 stitches. But I'm noticing that I probably should go down at least 4 stitches from now on if I'm going to be doing mittens for myself in fingering weight. And this was knit on size 0, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, I think this is size 0. These are my carbons. No, these are 1s. These are 1s. Maybe that's my reason why it's a little too much ease. I've been finding that my gauge has been looser on US size 1s. So this is interesting. When I first started knitting socks, I was on US size 2s. Then I found that I didn't like the fabric. It was too loose, so I went down to 1s. And eventually, I started finding that I didn't like the fabric on that one, that I felt it was too loose. Although this is kind of a plumper fingering weight, so the gauge is pretty good on this one. But generally speaking, I've gone down to a size 0, and on one project that I'm about to show you, I've gone down to a double 0. I've got an itchy wrist now. So I stopped by the I stopped by the local yarn shop a couple days ago, and I fell in love. The name is Fancy Work Yarn Shop, and they are the sweetest people. The place is incredibly inviting, funky, and I mean, like, funky in a really cool way. Like, there was a train bench to sit on that they'd repurposed. They had a plastic, a baby blue plastic rocking chair. And they constantly rotate through trunk shows, if you will. And they had, let's see, they had the Farmer's Daughter in there right now for a trunk show. I didn't buy anything of hers, but I did find these guys that first off, I loved the colorways that they had, and second off, like, I loved the concept, and I loved the way they were giving back. So I picked up this, which is from Unique Sock, or no, I guess it's Unique Sock. Yeah, Boy, I can talk and read. And this is Earth in the hand-dyed self-striping matching sock kit. So that comes with 2 mini skeins. And here's the first one that I've been working on. And it's very earthy tones, and I really like that. And I'll get back to this in just a second. Well, okay, here's the colorway, knit up. Although mine is not knitting up in this sequence, but I don't care, it's good. I like start, actually that just doesn't even look like what I'm knitting at all. Okay, well, I don't really care. But the reason why, oh, and this is color 59. The reason why I was sold was, first off, well, okay, it's made in Turkey, so there is a large footprint, gas footprint, but at the same time it was pretty affordable, especially for self-striping. And second off, these guys are in partnership with Trees for the Future. And in partnership for Trees for the Future, each pair of socks plants a tree. So every single time you purchase one of these kits, a tree is planted. So I kind of felt altruistic. I was like, I'm doing my part for the planet. Which I'm not. Because when you think of the carbon footprint these are on, I've really lost out. So, okay, back to this. So I'm on US size 00s in the red lace Tiagu. And I love these things. They make me so happy. And I have cast on just my normal 60 stitches, and this is the colorway so far. So I'm on this blue, I'm on this brown and purple, and on theirs, okay, so I guess, I don't know where I am on here. I thought I was in this area, but I'm just not sure anymore. I don't really know, but I don't care. I'm along for the ride. So I'm working from the outside in, and I was kind of thinking on the second one, even though they're supposed to be perfect matching socks, I was kind of thinking it'd be fun if I started from the inside out. So I'm doing both cuff down, and so this one would start with the blue, the purple and the brown, and the other one would start with the yellow and the tan. I'm such a dork. But I just want to point out that I really love the fabric that I'm getting with the 00s. Look how nice that is. And I was even thinking that in the future I'm going to try 000s. I don't know. We'll see. I'm enjoying it though. So that's that. Again, no pattern. I actually cast these on in the store. I was just sitting there and knitting with this beautiful, amazing woman named Isla. She just lost her husband last month, but she had this aura of peace and gratitude about her, and we had the most in-depth, beautiful conversation. A lot of it was about healing and things like that, and I fell in love with that woman. I want to come back just to see her again. We didn't end up exchanging Ravelry IDs or anything like that, and for that I'm a little bit sad, but it'll be fine. Also, oh shoot, sorry guys. Also, while I was there though, they had their last trunk show dyer. They had it on a sale. What few skeins they had left, they had it on a sale for 30% off, and so I picked up this color that's called In the Navy, and it's by Oink Pigments, and I am told that it's 2 different people who are dyeing this company, and that it's just beautiful. And it's this Targi sock, and this is going to be for my best friend Wolf. They're going to be socks for him, and so there we go. It's so soft and lovely. But Targi is also, and it's got some 15% nylon in it, but Targi is also really strong in and of itself, and so I thought, okay, with nylon, this is going to be a good workhorse. And it's so soft. I love Targi. I love the stitch definition, everything. And then I did splurge just a bit on myself. I don't have money right now. Hello, I'm on Femla. But I don't have any money coming in, so I'm really an idiot. But I still purchased this to go with another sock that I want to knit up. So I purchased, actually I might as well just take it out since the tag's coming out anyway. This is called Machete Shop. And I love the wind here in Bend. I'm sorry if it's really loud, but it feels so freaking good. The weather here is just perfect. There's no humidity. None. Oh my gosh. So like 2 days ago, it was 84 degrees out, and I swear to you, it only felt like 70. It was amazing. I was in heaven. I don't like the colorway name of this one because it doesn't fit it at all to me, but it's called Vanilla Boom. And it's in superwash merino nylon, 4-ply fingering, 463 yards. And here's the colorway. This is not Vanilla Boom to me. Oh well. It's Sunshine Happiness. So I got this to go with a Mondim color skein that I got. Isn't that gonna go great? Look at that. So these are heels, toes, and cuffs for this. I want to cast this on so bad right now, but I'm like, dude, how many socks do you need on the go? Now, I had come down with a bunch of minis that I have. See, all these different minis. And especially, I love Peggy Jane fibers. Love, love, love. And I don't really want to break up this set. I actually want to knit something with this set. It's called Purple Dream, and there's a total of 462 yards here. And that's a lot. And so then I thought, oh, I'll pair it with this too, which is from Abstract Fibers that I've had for a couple years. And I was like, oh, that'll go nicely with it. But then I couldn't find anything that I liked to contrast with this. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll find something in here. And I could find something. But then when I was at Fancy Work Yarn Shop and I saw this yellow, I was just like, done, and done. Plus, I've always wanted a yellow skein to knit with. Even though I can't have it at my face. It just would look absolutely atrocious. Don't care. Still wanted it. Then I've cast on something else. Like, barely cast on something else. I spent a lot of time reading through the pattern of the Lounge Top in Fingering Weight by Joji Locatelli and Madeline Tosh. So it's this. And for a long time, I have had quite a few extra skeins of my favorite colorway by Hedgehog Hedgehog Fibers, yes, in the Monarch colorway. I've had these skeins for a long time. I've knit a couple projects with these, and I still have, well, between the mini skeins and the 3 full sets of skeins I have, I think I have at least 4 skeins total, and I actually only need 3 skeins for this sweater. So I decided I'm gonna knit it out of this. It's not even a sweater, it's a top. It's like a short, yeah. And I'm so excited. So I spent a long time on prepping for this because I've been noticing that a lot of the sweaters that I knit for myself are humongous on me, like way too much positive ease. There's that. Did you guys hear that? It was that cricket again doing that noise. Interesting. Anyway, so I was by myself, so it was hard for me to measure around my chest on my own. I did it anyway, and I got 1 measurement. But then I took 3 of my favorite t-shirts that I brought with me, and I measured them all, and then just the front from seam to seam, and then I doubled it for the back, right? And so the measurement that I got when I was doing it for myself on me was disgusting, but 52 inches around right here. But then when I measured all of my t-shirts, I got 48 inches around at my bust. So I decided to go with my t-shirts because those actually fit well, and this is rather t-shirt like, and she is suggesting 4 to 6 inches of ease. So the size that I went with is size 50 inches. And so because I figured it's halfway between the two, and so I should be okay, you know. So then I went through and I just measured, I just went through and I prepped everything for what I needed. This took me probably a good hour to do. And I'm okay with that because I actually want this to work. Because I run hot a lot of times, so it's very hard for me to wear a full-sleeved sweater. And it's hard for me to wear oh, there's a bunny. I'm sorry, I just get so excited. So it's hard for me to wear worsted weight, and it's also hard for me to wear long sleeve or even sometimes 3/4 length sleeve. So this is fingering weight, and it's practically sleeveless. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm hoping this will become a staple. Yeah, you see the bunny? You gonna get him, Papa? I think you can leave him alone, okay? It's all good. So literally all I've done is cast on for the first shoulder. So this is knit from the back shoulders, and then you cast on the front shoulders and bring them all together right here, and then you knit the arms, the arm holes, you bring it all together in the round and knit down. Hope that that's not giving away of things. But I think I've knit 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 rows, because I hate these needles. They're way too slippery. I don't even know what they are. I think they're just junk needles that I got from Joann's one time. But I hate them. So I just stopped knitting on it because I need to change the needles. So, there's that. I haven't knit any more on my leaves shell, even though I brought it with me. Let's see what else I have. Oh! You guys haven't seen the progress on this one, even though I haven't knit on it since I've been out here. So, okay. Or have you? Did I show you on the last one? I don't think I've done anything since then. Yeah, I showed this to you on the last one. So my fade, I haven't knit anymore, literally. So there's really no use in showing it to you. So, but there you go. I brought it with me just in case. Wasn't feeling the love. I was really just feeling the love of, I don't know, simple things, I guess. And fun things. This is fun, but still. And I came prepared to cast on a couple other things, like, things are all messed up now. I want to cast on the Ricky hat for me, and I actually have no idea what yarn I brought with me to do that. It must be in the car. But anyway, I brought something. And then, the Skyping beanie, this is a free pattern on Ravelry. I want to cast this on for Wolf. And I brought some yarn for that, but that must also be in the car. Some of my hand dyed that I did. And actually, okay, oh, I remember what it is. It's a gray that I dyed that has kind of like an undertone. I wouldn't call it an overtone. I would call it an undertone of kind of a brown. So it's really cool. Like, it just, in the light, it just is different. So this is my personal hand dyed, and it's in DK weight. And then he likes purple, so I showed him my purple skein, but he really liked this. I wouldn't call it a teal, and I wouldn't call it electric blue. It's somewhere in between. And he really liked the combination of the two. I don't like how he wants me to pair them, though. He just wants me to do one stripe of the blue on the brim. I don't like that idea at all. So I'm trying to think of what, maybe I'll do this for the brim and then just finish it just in the gray. That's a good idea, Emily. Always thinking. So, you know, that's, I think that's it. Oh! So, you guys may be aware that I got a bunch of yarn donated to me from a lady who has arthritis from my neighborhood, and she just couldn't knit anymore. And we've talked about knitting in the past, and she was really sad. She's a Joann shopper, you know, so she does a lot of Red Heart. Actually, pretty much everything she had was either Karen Simply Soft or Red Heart. And so she asked me if I would want the yarn, and I said, well, you know, honestly, I won't knit with it, but I do have quite a few of my clients out in Tillamook who would. And so I posted that on Instagram, all the yarn that she gave me. It filled up my entire back seat of my car, to the windows. And then I said, hey, I don't suppose anybody wants to donate some needles so that I can actually like give a whole thing to the people out in Tillamook. And Jill of Jillo, I forgot her Instagram name. Oh, Watson, stop. Sorry guys, I'm just going on to Instagram really quick so I can find, no. Jillo Knitwit. I was right. I was gonna say that, and she's amazing. So you guys should go on and absolutely give Jill a lot of love. I mean, this woman truly, come on, go to her profile. This woman truly is one of my biggest heroes. And so she actually owned a yarn shop, and she closed it down. Shoot fire. I'll get that in a minute. She closed it down, and she had a bunch of random needles left over. And so she just asked me, hey, can I just send you all these needles? And so not only did she send me that, but she sent me some other things. And long and the short of it is, she sent me some yarn for a project as well. Sorry, my phone just told me that I'm about to do the maximum size of video recording. So I have to hurry up. So I'll talk more about that later. But I just wanted to share with you all where I'm at. And I hope that you love what you knit and knit what you love. Thank you guys. Bye.